Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on what is set to be a momentous occasion. Oh man, it's been so long since we've been able to talk like this again. It's been a long time since we've done commentary, but no, this feels weird. Anyways,
it has.
We're here for one reason only, and that is to reveal to you all what teams you're driving for, who you've got to put up with for a whole season, a couple of rule changes, most importantly, a little recap of Season 1 as well. Hence why we have started this evening looking at the wonderful Alpine, just to admire that car for a little bit. It's been on screen now for about 3 minutes. It's still not long enough. You need longer to appreciate it, because it has been masterful this season, Aaron, has it not?
It has. It has indeed.
Yes.
It's been a
carried
good car.
You to your first championship, buddy.
It has. That's why I've got a little celebratory bottle of Soul going on. Just to continue celebration.
Got to keep promoting drinking and driving, man. Someone's got to do it. Right, well, first of all, congratulations do need to go out to yourself, because you did have a very dominant season in the first season of LNR, it should be said. And yes, it was a brilliant performance from yourself, pretty much every race. Wonderful work. You made something happen out of horrible situations, so well done. And I know not everyone can give you a round of applause, but I'll do it for everyone there. Good job, buddy. It was a solid effort. It's just a shame you couldn't get any backup from your teammate, but we'll give him a little bit of slack.
We'll give him a slack. He got a point.
He got a point. He did get you a point.
Car was solid. That car was solid. And I'm just looking at the comments here, and Joseph's been missing our voices, so that's nice. And Jake says, "What a dreadful beer." I know. It was all I had left in the fridge. It's the last of the summer beers, man. Let me catch a break.
We've done enough work on beer. We've done plenty of work for beer in the past, all right? So we
have, yeah.
Leave it out, mate.
I mean, it's not my finest work, but it's
well, let's move on.
It's only a Tuesday as well.
Exactly, man. Come on, man. That's some respect.
But also, congratulations have to go out to the Aston Martin team as well. Yourself and Dunners. A solid drive from the Aston Martin boys, picking up plenty of points last season. It did, of course, it all went down to the wire at the end there. We saw it all come down to round 10 in Spain. If you've read the race report, it's on Facebook. There was plenty of action that night, and the Ferrari boys were giving you a run for your money.
Yes, yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, the voice chat was tense, because obviously we had Max in there listening to our strategy. Joseph wasn't quite in there, but obviously me and Dunners were back and forth. No, you do this, you pit now. If you pit now, then you'll end up ahead of him, and I can hold him up for you. Oh man, it was proper tense stuff, but worth it in the end. Fully enjoyed it. Even though I didn't have the best season personally, it was great to race with Michael and get that Constructors' Championship. And I look forward to Season 2 as much as everyone else does, surely.
Indeed. Of course, we hope everyone enjoyed Season 1. Obviously, we've got the highlights up on the channel as well, which is good.
Yep.
Obviously, we've got this new channel that we'll be.
Did you have a favourite highlight?
Content on. My favourite highlight, it's Albert's move. Like we were just discussing before we came on. It's Albert's move from pre-season in Russia.
Yeah, that's the worst bit. It wasn't even a full season race. It was just a pre-season race, and he pulled a brilliant move onto admins as well. Very cheeky.
Stunning. But anyway, we just want to double check everyone in the chat. Just give us a little. Let us know if you can hear us all right. If we're coming through clearly for you, and we will then move on to our Season 2 changes.
I mean, I'm assuming they can, because we've not had any messages saying, why are you speaking to yourself like an idiot? So I'm going to move on in that case. So Season 2 changes. So we do have, fantastic, some brilliant reassurance there. Thank you, guys. We're going to move on to, first of all, a couple of things that are going to change in how we distribute points, and also in the format and some of the qualifying sessions. So the first thing to note about the changes for, why are you speaking to yourself? Why are you going to do that, Kobe Dawson? I'm going to put doubt in my mind now. Anyways, I'm going to ignore you. So yes, we've decided as an admin group to make it a little bit more interesting, and to give everyone a chance to fight for some points, that in Season 2 of LNR, the top 15 finishers will score points for their team, and for the Drivers' Championship as well. So that's all 15 places will score points, and the fastest lap will no longer be just for the top 10 finishers. That will be for everyone in the field. So even if you're running plumb last, you can decide obviously to pit onto a set of soft tyres, try and go for that fastest lap to salvage a point for yourself and your team. The way that the point scoring will be distributed obviously will be posted in the rules, and we'll probably put a little post online as well to explain this, but essentially the highlights of it: so first place will now receive 28 points, second place 25, and third 22, and then it goes down pretty much in similar order to what you can imagine, all the way down to 15th getting 1 point, and fastest lap will still only be a 1 point award. So that is going to be a little change to make things more competitive throughout the complete field, and Aaron is going to explain the little change that we have for a couple of the races this year.
Yeah, so another thing that was obviously put into the suggestions is this went through back and forward a few times. It was voted on, and it has been decided that it's going to be put in this season. So for 3 rounds of the 12, obviously we're doing a 12 race season this time around, but for 3 of those rounds, the short qualifying session will not happen. Instead, we'll have a 5-lap sprint race to determine the grid order for the 25% race. How this will work will be that the grid for the 5-lapper will be determined by the championship, but it will be reverse championship order. So top of the championship starts last on the grid, and vice versa. What we're hoping that this will do will just give some of the drivers that are maybe not yet up the top of the field a chance to really experience what it's like to be racing at the front, and possibly give themselves, if they don't perform overly great in qualifying sessions, just give them a chance to really get involved in the action and hopefully improve the racecraft across the board, and just give them a chance to really get involved and hopefully get themselves a really good starting position for the 25%. There will, of course, in these 3 rounds of the 5-lap sprint be points awarded for the first, second and third place finishers. So P1, 3 points, P2, 2 points, P3, 1 point. And that will obviously count towards their championship as well. So it's just a good way, we thought, that we can change things up a little bit for a couple of the rounds of the season, just make it a bit exciting. Obviously it comes with its risks, so that the drivers at the top of the championship, starting from the back, they're going to be at risk. They're not going to necessarily be able to make it all the way to P1 in those 5 laps, but it will certainly make things extremely interesting.
Okay, so that's the changes that we're going to be getting into this season, so look forward to seeing how that shakes up the competition a little bit. But let's get on to what you're all here for.
There is one change that's not happening, and we do need to just interrupt just to say a massive thank you to Attawil, our independent steward who has been with us this season, and thank you in advance for his continued support of LNR Racing League, because he will be joining us once again for season 2, working hard on those race reports.
Yep, he's done a solid job, very thorough and very concise with his answers, and he's given everyone an explanation. He's taken a little bit of shit, as you do as a race steward, but he's dealt with it very well. And yeah, we're very happy with your work, buddy. And yeah, hopefully you will stay with us for a long time. Right, should we get on with it?
We shall.
So,
we'll keep these people waiting.
Yeah, you can see you've got the Williams on the screen there, which is the first team that we're going to announce. Just we're going to do it in the reverse order of how F1 group them, although Williams aren't necessarily the worst team anymore. Yay. Right, so these were all drawn randomly. We will explain.
We do this?
So, sorry?
Or do we do the calendar first, Tom?
No, we do this.
We do the calendar?
We'll explain how this is drawn. I'm just going to hijack it, man. Do what I want. Just going to hijack it. So basically, the way these teams have been drawn is that if you finish 1st to 10th in the championship, you have been paired with someone who finished 11th to 20th. All right? It's been completely done at random and verified independently. That sounds so posh. But anyways, Williams. So your first driver in the Williams is going to be Ryan 1995. So Ryan, who also runs Interstellar, very competitive league that some of the boys from LNR are in and racing quite regularly. Had a good solid first season in LNR, put in some brilliant performances in the McLaren, wasn't he? Yes, he was in McLaren. Certainly caught me out on a couple of moves, pulled some fantastic moves on myself, I do remember it. Had a solid 10th place finish in the driver's standings for last year, and he will be taking his seat in the Williams. And Aaron, to announce joining him in the Williams.
And joining Ryan in the Williams, we will have, as the second driver, Error 6.
Error 6, the 1-point wonder.
He is indeed. So I'll put that into the comments. There we go. There's the first team on the board.
So yeah, Error 6, more commonly known as Dan to his friends. He's had a tough first season with LNR, and I know he's eager to prove that he can actually get more than 1 point, and we look forward to seeing him do so with Ryan as a teammate. So that is team number 1 announced. We will now move on to the Ural Kali Haas F1 team. My God, what a piece of shit this is. It's just, I'm not, yeah, okay. So I can be negative about this car, and that's for one reason. I'm in it. And me as Glumchum, by the way, for those who don't know. Obviously, those who have raced with us before previously know these voices. I'm Glumchum Tom, and you can hear Aaron, who is A. Riley 1993. So yeah, this is my car. It's a piece of shit. It looks like a tube of Aquafresh. What can I say? What do you want me to say about it? I'm Mazepin.
It just is what it is, isn't it?
Less money.
It's not
basically
pretty, but it does the job.
It does the job, yeah. It's going to see me through. But luckily we don't do realistic performance, because I've raced in this car in realistic performance, and yeah, it's a real shit heap. Anyways, joining me in the Haas, Aaron.
Joining you in the Haas, the number 2 driver of this absolute stunner of a piece of toothpaste, is Mr. JC90.
JC90, another one of our work colleagues, by the way, if you must know. He's again, a learning driver, had some difficult times this season, but has managed to score some decent points just purely through consistency and staying in the races. And I know that he wants to build on that. He wants to get his wheel out as well when he can finally get one and get a bit more involved. So looking forward to having you as a teammate, and putting it bluntly, we're going to fuck shit up, buddy. Right, shall we move on? Who's next?
We shall indeed. Let's head over to that beautiful Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo. What do you think about this car? Because I mean, it's been the same pretty much for years now in terms of its look, but I do actually still quite like it. Yeah, I've got no beef with
I do like the
Alfa
look.
Romeo.
It's a fresh look. It looks fresh. It's got that real nice chromed effect on it. I think it's a good looking car.
Steady on. Anyways, so driver number 1.
It's got that 4-leaf clover on it.
Yeah, boy, doing it for Ireland, you are. Right, Alfa Romeo driver number 1. We have Ben Harvey in seat number 1. Ben Harvey, with an interesting profile picture on Discord, has again put in quite a solid season, considering he only joined partway through the season. If I just load up the standings, he was in the other McLaren this year and finished a solid 7th, just behind myself, I might add. But again, put in some great races, and I know he's brought quite a few people to the league as well, I think. So thanks for that.
Yeah, he's an absolute solid driver as well. He's been improving every race and doing really, really well this season.
We love the pigeon.
He's going to be one to watch.
We love the pigeon, says Ben Harvey.
And we do love the pigeon. I think the pigeon could be the LNR mascot.
He's been with that profile picture for weeks, as you said. I had no fucking idea. I thought it was just an innocent pigeon. I wasn't looking at its cock.
No.
So no one who's seen that photo. That sounds like really, really awkward, but, maybe we'll post a photo later.
For those of you that know...
For those of you that know, you know. Right.
And if you didn't know before, you've definitely gone to look now.
Yeah. Just Google
and
joining
Ben in the Alfa Romeo will be Callum MCC1.
Callum MCC1, so joined us as a reserve driver and has graciously taken a full-time seat after some great performances himself. Again, only a reserve driver, so hadn't really make too much of a dent in the standings, but did manage to score a few points, I believe. But as a reserve, again, it doesn't go towards your total. But joining us new as a full-time driver, can't wait to see what these guys can do. Again, another strong team. Jake, odds on Alpha finishing bottom. That's harsh. That's very harsh, sir. Right.
I think it's a strong team. I think it is a strong team.
Yeah.
I think obviously, as Callum had a few more races, his confidence improved. So I think it's going to be one to watch there. He had a couple of really good results. I believe China, he was P2 in these 25%, and that was one of his first races. So a solid effort.
relying on your memory there, buddy. Anyways, right, let's move on to the AlphaTauri. Let's start whizzing through these. So AlphaTauri, it is the best looking car. I don't care what anyone says. Don't argue with me. I'm right. AlphaTauri, driver number 1 for AlphaTauri will be Jackie. So that's going to be Jackie 115.
Jackie. Alongside him as driver number 2 in that car, and I do agree with you, Tom, it is one of the best looking cars on the grid. It is a solid looking beast. Will be another newcomer to the league. He's only been with us for the past couple of weeks, but we've thoroughly enjoyed having him on board. And he has swiftly introduced some serious pace into the league and has been up there with the front runners. And that Jimmer 103.
So Jimmer 103, yep, only been reserving with us for one race, but put in a solid shift. And I do feel that will be a very strong team. So AlphaTauri, Jackie and Jimmer. Right, moving on, because I realise we've been ages here. We like to fucking waffle, don't we? Ferrari. So
Indeed.
Ferrari, I'll let you do this first driver, Aaron.
Well, Ferrari, it's just an all-time classic Formula 1 car when you think about it, really. But I'm proud to announce that I'll be driving the Ferrari this season. Not by choice, just by drawing it out of a hat. But, it wouldn't be my first choice of car. But so that will be A. Riley 93 as driver number 1.
Doing it for Ireland. And then joining A. Riley 93 in the Ferrari, we will have RP Lai. So RP Lai is a driver who's come over to us, races in MRS as well, which is a good league on Wednesday nights. Check out Seb Bow and his streams to see those guys racing. But yes, RP Lai joining us as a full-time driver in the Ferrari with Aaron. That's going to be a strong team. And, just because you're actually going to be scoring some quite heavy points in the constructors there this season, I should think. So let's move on to the Alpine. There we are. Right, Alpine. We've seen enough of the car already. We don't need to go around the car anymore. That is all good. We will get straight in with the driver. So, driver number 1 for Alpine will be Woolsey. Woolsey, a driver that we've raced with almost solidly for about a year now. Oh my god.
Yeah.
In various leagues and various guises, but great guy, great racer, and has improved so much over that time frame. Can't wait to see what he does in Season 2 of LNR. And joining Woolsey in the Alpine will be Mazda 7. Sorry, I'm just steaming through it.
It will indeed. That's all right, man. You roll on. You roll on. I've got the next one. It's all good.
Yeah, that's fine. So Mazda 7 joining Woolsey in the Alpine, the championship winning Alpine, we might add. Right, I'll let you do Aston Martin.
Right, so Aston Martin is an interesting one. We do have one free seat, so the second seat for Aston Martin is currently available. We will look at filling that in the coming days prior to the season start, but the driver number 1 for Aston Martin will be former Ferrari driver Mad Max.
So Mad Max on his toll at the moment, but we will be looking to fill that seat for you, so you do have a teammate. All right, don't panic. It's 100%. Good. Right, McLaren. So again, one of the nicer looking cars, but not the nicest. We've already established that is the AlphaTauri. But McLaren, we have in seat number 1, Joseph Murados. Now, Joseph, again, another driver we've been racing with for a little while now. We know he has pace. Very, very often is he competing for pole position in qualifying sessions and can string a very, very solid race together from pole position. So do look out for this orange McLaren taking quite a few P1 finishes and podium finishes throughout the season. Joining Joseph Murados in the McLaren, I'm going to say...
Joining Joseph. Oh,
go on. I was going to say it as his PSN name. Gonna be LFC Jackie.
Yeah.
Which I believe is a Jake or JX key. And I think he's got another PSN name as well. But you know who you are when we say that. LFC Jackie. I've got no words. Let's move on. Oh, the Red Bull's still white. Who knew that? I haven't played this game in ages. Red Bull. Aaron, go.
So, driver number 1 for the Red Bull is someone who was in contention for the championship up until round 9 last season, and that is Dunners 5. So, another admin in the league. He had a real solid performance last season, very, very consistent throughout. So cracking, consistent driver, will be guaranteed to be picking up some points this season. So he'll be taking part in that Red Bull, and his teammate alongside him in seat number 2 will be Niter SJ, another driver that joined us midway through the season. So it will be exciting to see him take part in a full season. He picked up a few points, I believe, throughout. So he'll be hoping for some good results. And I believe he was in the Red Bull last season as well. So he's obviously been picked to be in the same car.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of familiar surroundings, we're on to the Mercedes final team for the evening. And you've already deduced we have 2 people who were paired up last year with each other in the same team again. So driver number 1 in the Mercedes is our very own Angry Dutch guy, more commonly known as Albert to his friends. A solid season from Albert. He did push yourself all the way for the title in the end, didn't he? Putting in some great performances.
He really did.
And some great on-track battles as well between you two, and generally with the rest of the field, because very fair racer is Albert. And joining Albert in the Mercedes this season will be Drew Cam 6. So again, another of the drivers who have joined us from Interstellar Racing League. Again, solid pace. Couldn't make all the races this year, I believe, so not necessarily able to make a dent on the driver standings, but hopefully he'll be able to make a few more this season. And I think if he can, we're looking at another very strong team there. So there we have it, folks. Yeah. That is your Season 2 LNR Racing League lineup for drivers and teams. As I said, we are still looking for one full-time driver. If you do have anyone that you want to recommend, please do get them added onto the Discord. Equally, we'll be making a post on Facebook in the next couple of days advertising that fact. Very quickly, we will just go over the calendar for next season as well, because I'm aware that we want to get started on these 5 lappers we've got planned. So the calendar, I'll just whiz through it if that's okay, Aaron, just to get through it.
Yep, you whiz through it and let me know. I will just jump in, if you give me a second afterwards, for the sprint race qualifiers, because I do have them noted down as well. We have pinpointed which ones will be the 5 lappers. So
no worries. So we're going to start the season with a visit to Austin. USA is round 1, and that's obviously starting next week. We then go to Interlagos, Brazil, round 2. Across the sea to Japan for round 3, Suzuka, so a track we haven't raced last season. Same for America as well. Round 4, familiar surroundings. We raced in Monza last year. We'll be back there again in round 4.
And that one will be the first of the sprint qualifiers.
So first of the sprint qualifiers in Monza, so perfect your 5-lap pace on that track. We'll then go to Canada, just to mix things up again, another track that we didn't race last season, followed by Baku in round 6, again, another track that's new for us and our only street circuit for this year. Imola will then follow that, and that will take us up to Christmas, where we will then have a week's break to celebrate with your family and forget about racing for a week. We start back in the new year with Austria, a fan favourite, and certainly to be bringing out some good racing whenever we've raced there.
And of course, what better way to start the new year than with a sprint qualifying? So that will happen in Austria as well. Round 8 will be the 5-lap sprint round Austria.
Okay, and we will then move on to France. So Paul Ricard, again, another fan favourite circuit, but we didn't race it last year. Bahrain is round 10. Portugal will be round 11. And then we will finish the season with a trip to Shanghai, trip to China.
And guess what? The final round will also be a sprint qualifier. So if it is coming down to the final round, a 5-lap race in place of qualifying could make it extremely interesting at the end of the season. So it could get rather tense, I think.
Indeed. So again, that calendar has been decided by you guys sending us your top 8 tracks, and then the admin have each selected a track to make up the 12 in total. All right, so the top 8 are on there, plus the 4 selected admin tracks, and that is your calendar. And the dates of the race have been completely randomised, and the sprint qualifying races have been picked based on the track and the fact that it's a slightly shorter track or an easier track to race on, where we think we might have less incidents. That's the idea behind it. Well, look, this has been fun. It's been a blast the first season. Can't wait to do it all with you again. We hope that you will enjoy the second season. There will inevitably be some incidents, some races that don't go your way, some things that don't go your way. Stick with it. You're a good bunch of lads. Managing the league. Most importantly, we hope that you like being in the league. So please do stick with us. advertise the league. When the streams go out, send it out to all your friends. We just want to grow this thing. And like we said in Discord, we eventually want to maybe get to do it where we can have an F2 league or maybe another tier. But, you know, that all depends on how we do in this league. So keep up with it, boys. I think we're going to end the stream there. Aaron, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I'll just echo exactly what you said. It's been an absolutely fantastic first season. We've all thoroughly enjoyed running the league, and we hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. I believe Dunners has sent out some invites for the 5-lappers, so get yourselves in the lobby, and we can get going with a few 5-lappers. I think that are going to be some of the new circuits that we haven't done last season, so it'll just be a little bit of a practice session, nothing too heavy. Let's just go and have some fun, get out on the track and try your new cars, and just enjoy it.
Right, good luck everybody. We'll see you next week for the season opener, but for now, let's have some fun with some 5-lappers. Take care, everybody.
Take care.